Top 10 MLB Closers, 5 to 1, 2015 edition. Let's go, guys. Number 5, Jers Familia, age 26. So, this is who's number 5. This is who's in front of Trevor Rosenthal. Some of the people are probably going to say, you're fucking nuts. Why would you put this guy in front of Trevor Rosenthal, a guy that has had multiple 40-plus save seasons, a guy that obviously in the long run, I believe he will be better than Familia. Even though Familia has upside, they both have upside, and they both will be all-star, multiple all-star closers for the NL or whichever team they choose to play in the future. Look, I picked Familia in front of Trevor Rosenthal for one reason. First of all, statistically, he was just better than him, better than Rosenthal this year. But as a whole, I just saw just more just oomph from Familia. Again, he was in the postseason a lot longer. I got to see him. I got to see him pitch. Again, I've seen Rosenthal pitch and close as well. I am not trying to be ignorant and say, wow, why? I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, Rosenthal had a very bad 2014 postseason. He had a good 2015 season, but it resulted in the Cardinals losing in, unfortunately, the NLDS. Whereas the Mets, they rolled on and they went to the World Series. They rolled on pretty quickly on the Cubs, by the way. But Familia is a guy, to me, this Dominican Republican guy. Just this guy is, he's so good. He will not allow many runs. He won't. He just really, I think he's just developed really well. And yes, I am really crazy to put him in front of Trevor Rosenthal. I do believe, he's only had one. He's had what 143 type of kind of season, 40 plus kind of season save, right? So for me to put him on this list ahead of Trevor Rosenthal is a bit insane. But just because I just haven't really seen Trevor Rosenthal in the postseason that much, I guess, in terms of what he can do. And because I've seen Familia get 5 saves in the postseason, I would lean towards Familia in this case. But yeah, I completely understand where people are going to get offended and be like, Trevor Rosenthal deserves this more than Familia right now. Familia is just had one really good fucking year this year. Maybe he can have a disaster type of year this next year, which I don't believe so. But anything can happen. But the whole thing is, I mean, he played 76 games like last year, 78 innings pitched. In that, he had only 19 walks, 86 strikeouts, was a 2-2, 43 saves. Yes, he blew five of them with one hold, and he had a 1 whip and a 185 ERA. That's what kind of stands out to me. The ERA, I mean, just the way that he was just able to just keep that low score, make sure he didn't allow many runs, and he didn't walk many people. He struck out a lot. He struck out a lot of batters, and I believe he does deserve to be number 5. No matter what's gonna happen, no matter what the argument is with people, I do believe Familia deserves to be number 5. He's just really established himself as a great closer, and I hope he does have another great year. And we'll see what happens. Trevor Rosenthal and Familia, those two guys, they'll be looked at a lot more once their careers keep shifting as they get older. Number 4, Mark Melanson, age of 30, Pittsburgh Pirates closer. I'm noticing a pattern with this, and it's that there's no contract guaranteed for any of these closers, and really it's making me kind of mad, just because of there's a lot of value in these guys. Because you have a close game, you need to lean towards someone, and a starting pitcher, you can't have him pitching 120, 130 pitches. So these guys really get overlooked, and I think these guys are actually very valuable, one of the most valuable positions on the team, and so that actually does make me a bit frustrated. But I mean, looking at number 4, Mark Melanson, he had such a great fucking season. I can't tell you enough how much I was impressed. Again, I mean, he really hasn't had this kind of season really in his career, save wise, and I mean, he had it going on this year, and I'm very glad. I mean, he got to go to the All Star game. He's a 2-time All Star, and he's an NL Saves leader, obviously, this year. and because of that, he got the Trevor Hoffman Award this year, and I'm glad for that because he had the best career, he had the best year stats wise and just overall wise as in his entire career playing in the majors. Um, again, I mean, 78 games played, pitched 76.2 innings, and in that span he had only 14 walks, 62 strikeouts, had a 3-2 record, 51 saves, a hold, only blew 2 games, and had a .93 WHIP and a 2.23 ERA. A very large part of the Pittsburgh Pirates winning pretty much in the entire game, in the entire season, um, was because of Mark Melanson. He made sure he closed out the ball games, and they won because of that. He's definitely very valuable to the team, to the Pirates, and I hope they keep him. He's definitely a keeper, um, even because he had the most saves pretty much in MLB. In the MLB, he has not cracked number one. Clearly because this is pretty much his first overall big year, and I can't just automatically jump him to number one. But great job to him. Kudos to him. Number four, Mark Melanson. Number three, Greg Holland, age of 30, Kansas City closer. What can I say? But he's just been fantastic his entire career. He's been a quality closer. You can rely on him, and he's really has flourished in the big leagues. There's nothing bad I can say about him. He does deserve to be number three because of his just production as he's had been a closer. Unfortunately, this year slipped up. His ERA went up. Didn't have as many saves. The stats went down, but it's nothing that I can say he doesn't deserve to be up top five and especially number three, top three closers in the league because he does. Again, quite sad that he did go down that far that Wade Davis even replaced him as a closer when Wade Davis should be the relief man and Greg Holland should be closing the deals. But I mean, as a free agent, I don't know where he will end up if he does stay in Kansas City. Good for Kansas City because I think he can, he can definitely get his swagger back and his way of playing again. And if he moves on to a different team, well, then he can start his new career, brand new career, and I think he can get it back, everything that he's had. I don't believe that this year will be the year that he just starts going down. I think he will next year he will be extremely up to his old self, and I believe we'll see the Greg Holland of old. So no worries. One bad year does not equal one bad career. He's definitely made himself well known as a great closer. And I mean, you're looking at it, two-time All-Star and a Mariano Rivera Award winner, which is the best closer in the AL. Trevor Hoffman Award is the best closer in the NL, by the way, if you did not know. Now, like I said, the stats on this guy: 3.83 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, 32 saves, blew 5 saves, 3-2 record, 49 strikeouts, 26 walks in 44.2 innings pitched, and he played in 48 games. And 5 blown saves, that's the most in his career. But like I said, it went down this year, but I think he'll go back up, and we'll see the old Greg Holland. So I'm glad to let you know that he'll be fine. He'll come back, and he'll come back stronger. And Greg Holland is not done, and that's why top three for sure. He earned this. This man earned number three on that spot. Number two, Aroldis Chapman, age of 27, Cincinnati Reds closer. But from further notice, it seems like he is going to the Los Angeles Dodgers and join Kenley Jansen to see what will happen. Again, aka Cuban Missile. The reason why he's named that, I mean, threw 105.1 miles per hour fastball. That's a record, and the fact that he's the fastest MLB pitcher to 500 strikeouts, and just his velocity is incredible. You don't wanna go up to the plate with him. So this is a four-time All-Star. From what I see, he got traded to the Dodgers. Automatically, what I see is I don't see Aroldis Chapman at all having a problem with that. He will probably have the position with that case because he is pretty much one of the best elite closers in the game. Um, honestly, I mean, Uh, besides Craig Kimbrel, this is a guy that year in and year out he has these magical seasons, and no one can stop him. It's it's wonderful to see. Again, like from all the clothes I've covered, they're all great. But Roldis Chapman is one of those unique guys because his arm is it's like he's like from a different planet. I mean, 105.1 miles an hour is that's a lot, and so he's proven a lot, and he's just this guy from Cuba that has all the talent in the world, and it just shows how Latinos are just so and Hispanics are just so talented in this sport, and it's awesome to see from different countries connect to this sport. Looking at the stats of him this year, I mean, he pitched in 65 games, and he pitched for 66.1 innings in that span. He had 33 walks, but the thing that amazed me, 116 strikeouts, along with a 4-4 record, 33 saves, 3 blown saves, but 1.15 WHIP and 1.63 ERA. That that is what's awesome is that he barely gets any runs, barely he makes any mistakes, and he's just one of those closers that you're not gonna see ever really lose control and lose velocity. His velocity is always on par, and it's just scary how like if you ever were to get hit with one of those pitches, it's gonna hurt like hell. So, but I mean, this guy is talented. Only 27. He's got so many years left, and I feel bad for Kenley Jansen just because two closers, two or just the fact that they're two relievers. It's just it's kind of crazy because to battle the person that I know who's going to win is Aroldis Chapman. He's by far better than Kenley Jansen. Um, but hopefully something can be figured out because both of them deserve it. And Aroldis Chapman, you are number two. You're not quite number one, but you show that you are a top closer in this game, and it's impressive. So congratulations to you. And the number one closer in the league right now, Craig Kimbrel. I have put Craig Kimbrel on number one of the list. I believe all these years that I've been doing YouTube, and it's because every single year there's not one time where I have doubted his way of closing. He is pretty much Trevor Hoffman and Mariano Rivera. They have moved on and retired. Well, the new face closer of the closer game is Aroldis Chapman and Craig Kimbrel, in my opinion. And I believe Craig Kimbrel is just an outstanding closer, excellent closer, most feared closer, and pretty much at most of the time unstoppable type closer. And he's just he's so well respected. Played for the Braves, had such a great career for the time when he was in the Braves. Got traded to San Diego, and just recently got traded to Boston. And with that, the Red Sox just gained um, an All-Star closer of the year type of closer in Craig Kimbrel. And at the same time, it sounds like they're trying to call it a career for Koji in terms of his closing career because when you add Craig Kimbrel, Koji probably will not be having the same closer position because this guy is the best closer in the world, and I don't have any doubts that Craig Kimbrel will be taking the spot. Again, Craig Kimbrel, he's got in his contract 2 years, $21 million. Um, so he's definitely got some time with the Boston Red Sox. Um, he has won a lot of. He's had a lot of awards and a Rookie of the Year and a Rolaids Relief Man of the Year, two-time MLB Delivery Man of the Year, four-time NL Saves Leader, and four-time All Star. And so he's made great magic with the way he closes. Uh, with the Padres, 2015, he had 61 games played, 59.1 innings pitched. In that, he had 22 walks, 87 strikeouts, a 4-2 record, 39 saves, blew 4 games, had a 1.04 WHIP and a 2.58 ERA. The highest ERA in his career is this year. So that's some of that went down a bit in terms of numbers wise. Like the ERA went up, but I meant like the way he went, it was kind of a little bit from previous years. It wasn't as good as previous years, but he's still dominant closer and deserves to be respected, and he is number one for a reason. Yes, Craig Kimbrel, you are the man, number one.